Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Beer and Bayonets. Of course, I'm your host, Mo. Tonight, I'm joined by a very special guest, my dear close friend, Ed Medina, CEO of Armored Innovations.
Yes, sir.
20-year special operations veteran. Just retired out of the military, right? Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Man. Welcome to the show, first of all.
Well, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, bro, this is long overdue.
Very long. We talked about it before. We just finally got to it.
So, I'm still active duty. But I hear, and I'll be honest, the thing that goes for every single person, regardless of branch, I know when you're getting close to that 20-year, 25, 30-year mark, whatever it is, whether you do 4 years or 24 years, it's like, what's next? All right, so what advice do you have for guys and gals that are about to transition out?
So we all go through this anxiety. We think that we're losing our sense of purpose. We think that we're losing our identity.
Right.
We think that the ride is over. For the most part, the first ride is over. There's a second ride. You just have to know to change to a new wave. It's like surfing. There's another wave that's going to come after that one you've been on for a while. Yeah. And you can't get past the anxiety. You're going to have it. But understanding that, just ride that next wave.
I like that. Ride that next wave. So you didn't really wait for the wave to come. You've been crushing waves since before you got out. So let's talk about Armored Innovations. Like, what do you guys do?
Yeah. So Armored Innovations started. It was an idea. Thinking, okay, I got to start doing some reverse planning here. Something that we learned to do.
Right.
And I'm like, I was already kind of an older guy.
Right.
On the,
old, not older.
Old.
Yeah.
Yeah, very old. And I just said to myself, all right, my knees are hurting, my back's hurting, my neck's hurting. I need to plan something else. And really, Armored Innovations came to me as in a state of boredom. During COVID, when we were all sitting at home, I dug drainage. I did updates to my house. I built a shed. I laid concrete. I was like, man, what else?
Right.
So much time on my hands.
As one does.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to retire soon. Let me just start planning. Start a business. In what? I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I go down to the county clerk and just register the business. I thought, okay, I like to innovate. I'm in the military. Armored Innovations. It just came to me, and I rode that for 3 years before I actually retired.
So what do you guys do though? Like, what's your business?
So the business is rapid prototyping. Armored Innovations is a company that does. It brings ideas to other companies that are. Well, let me roll this back a little bit. The one problem in the industry is that companies are tied to their procedure, to their processes of engineering. Right. They have all this ballooned cost of having to just simply come up with an idea and build it. No, it's meetings and meetings and meetings and
right.
Engineering costs and
bureaucracy.
Oh my God! So for me, it was just like it was. You get an idea. All right, let me just do it. You start drawing it out. You get a plan. You see what the requirements are. You just get to it. You roll up your sleeves and start. And I acquired some knowledge along the way. How to CAD, how to CNC. Well, first it was how to 3D print.
What are you 3D printing?
So I 3D print anything that that needs to be made for, like if it's drone parts.
So drones, okay, drone parts.
Yeah, drones are kind of the easy button.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, obviously you're doing well.
Okay.
I know myself included, right? You do this for 4 years or 24 years, it's what you know. I know a lot of guys and gals get that anxiety. Like I'm not even there, and when I think about it, I get nervous. But obviously, you're doing well. Things are going well, right? Like life does continue, essentially, right?
It does, man. And the biggest thing is to be honest with yourself
Yeah.
and accepting change. You have to accept change. It's the train ride. There's going to be one of those stops is going to be yours. We all talk about the train that's going to keep going.
Yeah, that's true.
When you reach your stop, man,
You're getting off of one of them.
you got to get off. But what do you do when you're at that station?
Right.
Just catch another train.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So, okay. So you were saying one of the things you guys manufacture is drones.
Yep.
So besides wearing black leather gloves and doing research and development,
and lab coats.
walk me through the drone process. Like, I don't know shit about drones. I don't know. Most people are very interested in drones, but like, talk to me. Like, I don't know anything about drones. Maybe I'm looking to get into either recreationally or professionally.
Well, so it became more of a passion because I like to tinker.
Right.
Part of it was necessity in the previous life, previous work, and the need is still there, and you're trying to you want to continue. Let me make sure I word this the best way possible so I don't step on my own foot. So I'll just stick to the enthusiast part of it. Yeah. So I like putting things together and seeing the results, right? Drones, when I say it's the easy button, it's because, 4 motors, some electronics, the quasi brain of a drone and put a camera. It's fun. You just try to have some fun with it.
Yes.
So kind of to walk you through, okay, so the end state is you're trying to go fast or you're trying to take some good pictures. Right? You're either racing or you're looking at stuff.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know there was a difference. So you got like race drones and like photo drones. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so I like anything that goes fast. So
we all do.
What is drone racing?
So drone racing, it's you're using fast eye hand coordinated movements, and you're matching. You're just going through really tight spaces, really, really fast. Best way to put it is being the operator of a flying roller coaster.
Yeah. All right. All right. That's okay.
While wearing goggles and not seeing anything else around you, but you kind of put yourself at the seat of the drone, and it's that first person view. It's the FPV stuff.
Okay. Not to get too much into stuff. We touched on it a little bit. You're a veteran of special operations. Did you employ any of that for like training events, or is this just like strictly recreational hobby things?
Not
getting into TTPs or anything.
Yeah, no. So I was a commo guy, right? Yeah. I was a radio guy.
All right.
And my thing was being able to talk, which I don't do very well at.
It's great for a podcast.
That's right. Yeah. But then there was just the necessity based on the environment that we were at that we need a little bit more. We need to have eyes in before you do something, before a human crosses the threshold. So there was, a buddy said, "Hey, Ed, I need your help." And I was at a crossroads because, there was I was still a comms guy. It was well known that I like to tinker, and I was presented with an opportunity. And I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that, and that opened up my eyes to a whole new thing, and it then became outside of work an enthusiasm, a hobby.
So you went from. So they're actually employing this in the military.
Yeah,
these types of technologies. You're correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that's saving people's lives.
100%.
Because everyone thinks of the door kicker, right? First man in stack, second man in stack, getting shot like that. That to me that sounds like life-saving technology.
It really is. So now, definitely we can talk about this easily. Robots don't bleed. Humans do.
Right.
You save the human, you save the dog.
Yeah,
Even the canine, it takes so much money to train a dog,
absolutely.
and and if you lose it, so what? You just pull another one out your bag.
Yeah,
You're not gonna pull a dude out of the truck.
right.
Oh wait, where you been the whole
Right.
time? So
you're taking these things on target essentially.
I was.
Well,
Yeah.
were right in previous
Yeah.
life. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and most people. So that brings me to my next point. You look fantastic for 67. Like I would never
Well,
guess that
it's
you
true.
were 67.
I'm actually pushing 71. but-
Like you look fantastic. And you talking about the whole special operations thing. You kind of introduced me. I'm not on TRT, but you introduced me to the concept of it, and I know there's a lot of guys out there that are very much. Obviously, I don't need it, right? But someone like you.
Yeah, someone like me.
Like I'm a physical specimen like myself.
Of course, yeah.
I don't need it, but there are guys out there that could benefit from that. What would you tell them?
Well, you start getting tired. You start feeling, you get the fog brain. There's so many things that start to happen to us. We're always alert, and and honestly, there was a life before the Army for me. I came from the South Bronx,
Right.
fighting in the streets every day. Living
It's arguably more dangerous than the Army.
It is now. But my life before the Army was always, the heightened sense of awareness.
Right.
You couldn't go through a block without having to look around and saying, all right, well, who am I fighting today? And that just continued. 9/11 happened, and then here we all went,
Right.
charging at the door, trying to join, and joining up, and the next 20 years of just on the go, nonstop,
Right.
trying to be the best at everything you could do. That if it was in your hands, if it was your responsibility, you were going to be the best at it. That takes a toll on us, right? And I started to feel tired. I couldn't run as fast. And I was like, oh man, it must be my age. But no, because at 42, back then, about 20 years ago,
Right.
I was in better shape than I was when I was 18. Like, how is that?
Right.
And then that was like the pinnacle moment, and like the peak of my fitness. And then it was like a drastic drop. I went from being able to run, multiple knee surgeries, and then catching up, getting back into shape for that, to stay in a high pace organization,
Right.
Well,
don't kid yourself. I mean, I remember all jokes aside, I was like half your age, and you were crushing us on our 5 mile runs, or like we were at the unit together, and it's not like there are no easy days there. Every single day you're 100% on, and then some.
Yeah.
And you were my assistant team leader. You're my 2IC. Like you were showing us the ropes, and like I remember like I'm like, how is this guy so fucking old and is smoking me on these runs and these pull-ups, and like I can't allow that to happen. But like yeah, so
well, the funny thing about that is that it goes both ways. Where like I'm seeing these guys, I'm seeing you, and I'm seeing all these dudes just running, and I was like, I can't be the guy in the back.
Well, I'm glad to hear that now. Like 15 years later, that's fantastic to hear.
Well, awesome. It's just the drive. You don't be the last guy.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No. Go ahead.
So okay. So you're extremely physically fit. We're in a tier 1 organization, special missions unit. Extremely physical. All of us in our best, in our prime, and then you feel a drop off.
Yeah.
And then, what happened after that?
So the good thing that we were in a place that we can go talk to our, we have the NFL level of care, and we can go talk to our docs, and they're like, man, I don't know what's wrong with me. These are the things going on, and they're like, hey, let's just get a full scope. Let's get all the blood work done on you. And sure enough, testosterone levels were, I mean, I'm surprised I didn't grow breasts. It was so bad. And
that's crazy.
No, it was pretty bad. And it's more so impacted on guys like us who are constantly grinding at the wheel.
Which you would think the opposite is true, right? Because like
You
we
would
lift weights every single day. We eat red meat 3 times a day. Like we're not vegans. We're not like we follow very healthy lifestyles, very healthy diets. Like
Yeah.
we all monitor our fitness and our diets, and like you would think the opposite is true. But I hear this more and more from guys. And that's why I really wanted you to bring this up, because I know there's at least one guy out there that's listening that might be going through the exact same thing. Like, we were not vegans.
No,
We're not hanging out at Starbucks. Like, we're fucking meat eaters.
Yeah, we're meat
we lift
eaters.
weights every single day that we can, running, sprinting, like doing all these things that should increase our testosterone.
Yeah.
But that fight or flight response, that adrenaline, is eating your soul away from the back end.
I mean, you think about it. We'd work out first thing 6:30 in the morning.
Yep.
Then we'd go to the range, run over there.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'd go hit it again, get through like an obstacle course.
Yep.
All before lunch.
Yeah, before lunch, right?
And then we think about 1400.
It's 2 o'clock.
It's gym time.
Gym time. Yeah, let's go.
you
You
know?
good? Yeah, let's go. All right.
Yeah. So and you just crushing it, because you just want to be operationally ready all the time.
All the time.
Because you just never know when that you're gonna get the call and you have to jump on the plane and go somewhere. And it's just and you have to be honest with yourself when you start feeling like that. Like, I took too long. Here's the thing, though. I took a long time to actually raise my hand and say, there's something wrong.
Right.
There's something wrong. But when I finally started getting the help, when I finally started getting a full panel done of blood work, there were so many other things wrong with me. Like, it wasn't just, the thing is, it's not just testosterone. Like, testosterone is one part. There's your pituitary. There's your thyroid. Like, we're not obese. We're not obese dudes.
Right.
We still look pretty well and fit. But then you're like tired. You go up the stairs. I mean, you play with your kids. I'm like, man, I'm smoked. Like, why? Just walking up some stairs. And then you're like, okay, well, there's something is wrong. And having that courage, and not the liquid courage,
right.
which is but having that courage to actually and being honest and saying, let me go. I gotta go get myself checked out.
Yeah.
Because it does other things to you. Like, it messes with your head, and then that also then affects your job. Right. It affects your relationship. It affects so many things around you, and you have to raise your hand. Like, don't be afraid. Like, you can be a young guy and be on TRT. So there's TRT. There's levothyroxine, which is another thing I take. It's to help balance my thyroid. Even though I didn't have an issue with the thyroid, but it was an attempt to. I had tried so many things, but the docs have said, all right, we're gonna. So there was also the pituitary. I didn't even know all this, but your pituitary can send a reverse signal. It essentially sends a double negative to your thyroid, which then tells your body stop making testosterone.
Oh wow!
Yeah, like reduce the amount of testosterone your body's producing. And even though, like, okay, well, I'm just doing what I'm told. That's what your pituitary is like. Something is wrong here. Let me go tell the thyroid to chill. The thyroid then, like, your body starts to fight itself, and next thing you know, estrogen level goes up. You're winded on your runs that were easy once upon a time, all of a sudden become harder and harder, and you're like, and we count the seconds, on our runs down to the seconds.
Absolutely.
Man. And you're just like, man, how did I add 30 more seconds to my run? And another 30 seconds. Now it's a minute. Now it's a minute and a half. Dude, I'm this close to not making it. And then when you finally start to address those issues, and it's not overnight either. You gotta understand it's not an overnight process. Like, it's going to take time to adjust and adapt. I've been on it, and now I'm on it for life. But it's a balance. Yeah. Don't overdo it either.
Right. We're not talking about juicing here. Like, we're not talking about bodybuilding competitions.
No, not at all. But
like any performance enhancing drugs, this is just straight up things your body needs. Yeah. But because we've been, especially our generation, the GWOT kids, been at war for so long. Shout out to the GWOT generation. Now we're all in our 40s and 50s, and everything hurts, but we've been on like just on the go for 20 plus years. Like, yes, we tried the best we could, but your body at some point is going to say, no, that's enough. And it's going to react adversely, like in these weird, in these weird ways, like you said. So,
yeah. And then, then you take all the other things going on. Like, we all have bad backs.
Right.
Our necks hurt. You can't, you jump so much, you can't turn your head fast enough.
Yeah.
And then you just got to get it taken care of. We're not going to be the same, but we can at least keep the machine as maintained as possible. For
as long as we can.
Yeah. I mean,
that's always the goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, bro. Because like I said, I know a lot of guys think, vegans and Starbucks man bun wearing motherfuckers, but like that's not who needs this. It's actually the opposite. It's guys like yourself and me and all the guys from the community that have been, hard charging for 20 years and in the suck getting after it. Like, it's not who you may think needs this stuff. So go get checked out. Like, there's nothing wrong. Like, go to the doc. If there's something wrong, send up the flag, right? I say this all the time. Pride, that's easy. Like, saying I'm good, that's easy. Saying I need help, that takes strength. That takes real courage, right? Anyone can say I'm good, I got it. That's bullshit. Pride is the crutch of the insecure. You stand on that as long as you're weak. Right? Take it for what it's worth. But hey, Ed, it's great to have you on the show, brother. Appreciate you coming out. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, big shout out to Axel Navaja Productions. And again, I'm not sponsored, but if y'all need any website advertising, any kind of promotion gimmicks, or any kind of consulting really in that venue, hit up our partners at BB Hill. They're on my website because they're fantastic human beings. So just go to beerandbayonets.com. They're at the bottom of the website. Fantastic human beings. But Ed, thanks again, brother. I appreciate you being on the show.
Oh man, thanks for having me, brother.
Hey, but love you guys. Stay tuned for the next one.
Peace.